Hello, if you're just joining us, my name is Bruce Edwards from Doncaster Radio, and you are very welcome to episode 12 of It's Not Terminal. This is, of course, the long-running podcast saga series all about the closure of Doncaster Sheffield Airport and the campaign to get it reopened.
The reopening, mate.
I just got there, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
With us in the studio, the lead of the campaign group to get it reopened. No wonder he's so touchy. It's Mr. Mark Chadwick. Good afternoon, sir. Good morning.
Good afternoon. Good morning. Good evening.
And Mark, would you like to introduce to us, please, our honoured guest today?
Well, we've got Ros Jones, Mayor of Doncaster.
The one and only.
Yeah.
And I'm delighted to be here.
Thank you. Thanks for coming,
We're
Ros.
delighted to have you. Thank you very much.
And can I just use this to thank Mark for all his going forward and keeping it on everyone's mind and being the campaigner that actually helped us get it over. You know, the number of people he's got following is tremendous.
Thank you.
We would like you to keep on.
Yeah.
Doing what he does.
Yep.
No, it's
Yep.
fine.
Yep,
No,
thank you.
and I think it's a good point, well made. And we were actually just standing here and realising it's getting on now for nearly 3 years.
Yeah.
And I'm going to start off, because we do this with everybody, Ros. Back in 2022, where were you when you first heard about the possible closure of the airport? What was your reaction? Can you remember?
I can remember. I was devastated. I was in the office at the time. We was given a day's warning of their strategic review. We tried to persuade them, don't do that, let's see what we can do. And we did everything to try and keep the airport open, seek to get someone else to come in. But they was not wanting to play ball at that time. And therefore, we are where we are today, working with them. So they announced it the day after to everyone else, and we were gutted, and we did all we could. As we said, we tried to buy the land off them, but their answer was no.
So, well, I mean, since then, of course, I mean, you've been working pretty much with, there's almost been a story every other day about what has been going on with the airport from whichever side. We know, we've been able to see what your commitment has been to getting the airport reopened. What, all the misinformation that's been going around, I was interested to ask you how you felt about it, whether or not you couldn't be bothered because you know what you're doing, or whether or not you found it frustrating. Maybe it's a bit of both, I don't know.
I think, it's sadly that misinformation is being put out there, and also I would always say, listen to what I put out there, because that's the truth on what's happening with the airport. And it was sad because we'd got all political parties back in the airport, and suddenly you're seeing this break. We don't want that. We want everyone behind it to actually get our airport reopened and stimulate our economic growth. So, I was saddened by it.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's... there has been quite a lot of misinformation, aren't there? We do try to put a stop to it, don't we?
We do. And we're
frustrating. I call it frustrating.
Yeah. We're still getting it, but a lot of the information people really do want, and I understand that. But we're limited to commercial sensitivity and what we've got to make sure until things are over the line.
Yeah.
And also, of course, public accountability as a local authority.
Yeah.
So it's all of those. Yeah, you think, come on, just come and ask us what the truth is. But if we continue to do this ping-ponging over, you said this, I've said that, what I say is the correct thing at that time. Life moves on, we all know that, but that is the correct thing at the time. So I still want all political parties to back it and get it open, not only for Doncaster, South Yorkshire, but the North, because it's going to be the jewel in the crown long term, I believe.
I think you're right. Mark,
100%,
you were going to say about...
Yeah, I mean, as a local authority, this project is seen by many as being very entrepreneurial. Not the norm, really, with local government. Can you explain why you and the council have taken that approach?
Because it's the right approach. It's all about economic development and taking the overall full strategic view, not only now, but in 10 years' time. And therefore, we will always be entrepreneurial, but actually always mitigating whatever's been put forward there, because we do know it's public money we're dealing with. We're always accountable for it, quite rightly so. So we'll always ensure there's good governance in place, and we will keep progressing it. And, you know, I must say, we've got some great staff who's really working hell for leather.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like that when you're out there, get asked every day, when is it opening, when is it opening? In truth, it really is open now, because we've got 2 XL flying planes in and out of there. But everyone's wanting to know when it's fully commercially operated. It is fully commercial now with 2 XL paying their way, but there's a lot of work got to be done in order to take off.
Yeah, take off. There we go. Yeah, we've got to get the odd airport pun in there, haven't we?
I don't think that's going to be the last. This is like the Bob Jones version of a dad joke, isn't it? Here we go.
Right, back to that one then. So we've got Fly Doncaster now. So that's a council-owned limited company to operate the airport, along with the new operational partners who've been announced as Munich Airport International. I suppose it's a bit like St Ledger Homes, who manage the council housing in Doncaster. Why did we go down that route? And do you understand concerns that there is not currently any private investment going into DSA?
Look, we've had some private investment talks. However, what we're not prepared to do is give it away for nothing.
Yeah.
And therefore, we believe we get it in, get it open, get it working. That investment that we, as a local authority, and, you know, the Mayoral Combined Authority using our gain sharers, is actually we can borrow cheaper than other people, and we can also get the experience of people with the knowledge, like Munich International there, to actually know about all the operating things. So we believe it's right economically. I've said jewel in the crown once, I'll say it 10 times in these interviews. Medium to long term it will be, and therefore we've got several things that we've got to get over the line first. One, not least, drawing down money from the MSA, which Oliver's coming out quite positively in what he's saying with what's done. It will go some early September to get on and do it, and we'll have to hand that over then to Fly Doncaster, because it will be arm's length, and actually it needs to be arm's length.
It can operate commercially then, can't it?
But it will also be the people's airport, because the money coming into Doncaster Council, so I regard it as Doncaster people going to get the benefit, and wider. We want people from all across the area, South Yorkshire and wider and beyond, because it really is gateway to Doncaster.
With the infrastructure we've got with the motorway network and that, it's ideally situated, isn't it?
And over time, we wouldn't want to see rail going there as well. But
of course,
over time, what we need to do is get our airport open, and I'm going to use the pun there, but get it flying, so that then we all can see the benefits.
I was going to say as well, and getting it going. Obviously, Munich Airport International announced some time ago now that they're going to be the key partner to work with to get the airport operational. From your point of view, Ros, how is that going? And just exactly, can you define? Because people know they're there, but what is it they're actually going to do? Is it run the airport on a day-to-day basis, or what?
They're actually going to get it up and operational. They've got all the know-how. 41 million passengers pass through their airport in 2024. They've got the experience of reopening and opening new airports. So it's a vast experience we want to make it happen for Doncaster, South Yorkshire and the rest, of course.
I mean, what about, though, previous operators, Peel, obviously they're still there in the background. A working relationship with them, how's that going? And obviously looking forward to the future, have you got optimism for that as well?
I have got optimism. Our officers are the ones that interface with them daily, and I'm not going to lie, some of it's been difficult at the start, but I think they've got a good working relationship now, and Peel want to see it go forward as much as possible, because if you remember, Gateways, which is all land that Peel owns, will actually benefit from it, and we will benefit, of course, because it will provide all the additional services there. And remember, we're wanting to make this a South Yorkshire airport hub where all aviation is going on, from manufacturing to teaching people. So we are working with them. They are a commercial operation, and they always will be. But we are there for the long term, and they are working well. As I say, it didn't go that well at the first. So I'm not the one physically interfacing that often. It's our officers that's leading on this. And I'm getting good feedback on that.
That's good.
Of course, that's where the South Yorkshire Airport City comes from, isn't
That's
it?
right.
The airport and Gateway East. It's a joint venture of the two, isn't it?
And, you know, we want manufacturing happening there. These are the jobs and growth. It'll be not only highly skilled, highly paid jobs at the airport, but surrounding and all the different component parts coming in. So it will help that area grow unbelievably.
Yeah. Right. Bit of controversy now then. So we've seen considerable backing from government recently. We've had the Prime Minister visit, the Chancellor, Deputy Prime Minister, Secretary of State for Transport, the Aviation Minister, all our local MPs, and some from other areas as well, across South Yorkshire and Bassetlaw and further afield. Now, I'm going to assume it's easier to work with the current government. Is that helping the project move forward, and could we expect any further help from them?
I believe it has helped. You know, when you've got local authority, regional and national working with the same aim, they've given us this monies up front to kickstart it. They are the ones that can enable us to get civil aviation and channel us in the right direction. So I think that is very much a positive, but it's about also getting and continue to work as a council behind it, and that's all political parties. So I'm not going to knock the previous government. I'm saying our government now, and that is the Labour government, is here assisting Doncaster because it's about growth and the economy.
Yeah.
And this will actually demonstrate that.
Well, it adds to the country's economy, not just the regions, doesn't it?
It does.
Okay, yeah. And of course, Oliver Coppard, South Yorkshire Mayor, we're waiting for him. We've seen him commit that the gain share decision will be made in September, so we're waiting for that at the moment. But what's happening over the next couple of months? Is there lots of stuff going on at the airport, or are we just waiting for this funding before anything else can happen?
Things are going on now, and therefore we're already progressing key areas of work, including the airspace change process and the aerodrome certification. That is working with Trax and Cirrus, and they're mobilised to work at pace. Current works on the fire station. I forget about things like this, like most of us do when we go to airports. But of course you need a fire station. They're there all the time. Hayford House, nearing completion. Preparations on air traffic control have begun. Procurement of the air-ground landing lights and radar and fire apparatus have commenced. So yes, there's certainly a lot going on behind those fences.
That's good to hear. That's really good to hear, isn't it?
Yeah. What I was interested to know, Ros, is your thoughts about what, from a council point of view, is there a reason or is there a way, sometimes because I know people criticise and this, that and the other, are you being as upfront as you can be? I mean, I hope you are, but I mean, I am concerned that, because every time somebody sees and every time somebody says, what's happening with the airport, and there's always this wanting to know more. You can understand how they feel, can't you?
Of course I can. I want the airport opened yesterday. I don't hide that like most of our people do. But there's an awful lot of work, and it's quite complex getting it done. And getting the air corridors and getting the certification are big events, and they don't just happen overnight. So we've got interdependencies happening there. I certainly want to see. And as I said, we've already got flying from there, but that's not the commercial airlines. That is another company.
Sure. So when we get round to reopening, like you say, there's already flying going on, but in terms of reopening, can you say at the moment whether it's going to be gradual, getting some general aviation, maybe then a bit of freight, and then starting, or is it going to be like a big, do you know what?
It will be gradual. You've got to build up. You can't have a big bang. You want them in there. We need to get people trained to actually run an airport, get them all in. That's all required. So it will be over a gradual process. There'll be freight. I believe freight will be the first rather than passengers. But so it won't be a big bang. But I really do want to be on that first plane out there. It depends where it's going and whether I can afford it, but I really would like to be on it.
I'll put my name up for that one as well. Yeah, definitely. So talking of planes and getting out of there, so what can we expect? What airlines or holiday destinations can we expect from DSA?
And you know what? You ask me to reveal commercial confidentiality, which I can't
I know
do.
that.
But it's not only holiday destinations, but some new destinations we're hoping come forward as well. And we all know that TUI's been wanting to be around all along, and TUI are still very much involved in it. But, you know, I want to see up to 4 or 5 airlines going there, so it gives people the breadth of where they want to go and how they want to use it. So I don't only want the holiday flights, I want the long haul as well going from there eventually. It'd be fabulous, but it's let's get them in, let's get it open, let's get it moving, and let's see it. I'm going to use it again.
Yeah, let's see
take
it fly.
off.
I'll take off. I'll see it fly.
Well, I'll see it fly.
Well, here we go. Here's all the jokes coming in. I was going to say, Ros, when you started out on this road, and looking back now, and if you whatever, but I'm just wondering whether now you're even more confident now than you were when you started about getting the airport reopened and it was going to be a success, or have you always had this like belief that it's going to work, it's got to work? I mean, to me, getting people, I mean, you know, like Munich involved, I think that's great, and almost actually, you know, saying an organisation like that, well, they know what they're doing, and so there's, you know, confidence for me anyway has been building the longer it goes on. How's it been for you?
I think my confidence was there because once I saw a business case that showed it was viable and could happen, and knowing how they grow over time, and I was always aware, so I've been fully behind it. But as an accountant, I'm always going to want to see a business case.
Crunch the numbers.
I can't not. But more importantly, I believe it will be the best thing for our businesses as well as our residents. And actually, it's great to hear that the Chamber's fully behind it.
Yeah.
Our residents are fully behind it. Looking at that, you know, we will make it a success, but we've got to get it right in order to continue on and grow. And then, you know, we'll see rail coming in later, won't we?
Yeah, yeah.
But it's actually, I've always believed in it because, and that's why we tried to help them to stop them closing it in the first place. But now, I really do believe it will happen, and therefore, it can't happen soon enough for me. But we've got to follow the right procedures, bearing in mind that we are using public money as well.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's the thing. You scrutiny all the time, isn't it? Yeah. So, have we got a vision for the airport, Rose? Where do you see it in, let's say, 10 years' time? Where do you see the airport in 10 years' time?
Look, it's about a thriving airport. You know, international regional airport alongside a hub of aviation-related industry, delivering skilled and well-paid jobs, supporting local businesses, driving investment in Doncaster, and actually giving our young people aspirations and people who are looking to change their careers, aspirations. There's jobs there, and it's not only at the airport itself, of course, it'll be around gateways. There'll be jobs and growth happening there, and of course that will benefit everyone.
That's really good. That sounds really good, doesn't it? Right, so obviously you're aware of the hashtag #SaveDSA, Save Doncaster Sheffield Airport campaign that I lead.
No, really, Mark?
Yeah.
I'd never again.
So obviously we've been fairly active for the last nearly 3 years with what's going on with podcasts and different social media accounts.
You've put out the odd post or
30,000, 33,000 followers and what have you. But you know, obviously, what part do you see the campaign group playing once the airport is back open again? I know what I'd like to do, but
put your feet up.
I always want to see you actually being there and helping promote, because once it's open, it's still promoting an airport, isn't it? And I thanked you at the start of this. I really do thank you for what you've done for us. And it really is the people's airport. You know, that the campaign and the momentum actually drove forward what I believe could happen, and has continued to happen. So I think you'll be, Mark, it'd be very difficult for you not to be there doing your hashtags whatever you're doing.
Me and Christian have said we're going to buy a chair and a litter bin and put a plaque on it, say we've got it open.
Not only got it open, we've got it moving forward, and it will be a prosperous airport. So 10 years' time, I'd like to see it up there. And I do believe regional airports can play a big part in delivering for UK PLC.
Yes.
They don't need all these extra runways at Heathrow. Remember, we've got rail that's 135 to London.
Yeah.
So we can play a big part.
Yeah. I mean, you look at a lot of other airports, they're all at capacity anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll just throw in this controversial suggestion here. I say controversial because it was sometime, I forget exactly when, in the bar at the Crown Hotel in Bawtry a few weekends ago. And somebody did say, you know what we need to do with the airport? We need to rename it. You know what they said? Call it Mark Chadwick International.
Oh, God.
Now, I'm just putting it out there. We could take a vote on it, but anyway, just in case, I'm not saying straight away.
I've got an answer to that one. It's hashtag save DSA. We're saving DSA.
Yeah, but when you look on the boards abroad, when it's hashtag save DSA,
it says Doncaster, doesn't it?
Doncaster
Absolutely.
needs to be part of it.
Yes.
And also, it's more than Doncaster's airport, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, 100%.
And therefore... And there's always a cost, to changing names.
Millions of pounds,
like,
isn't
if you
it?
look on the motorways and it's saying, where they got Robin Hood from, don't ask me, I have no idea. I know some of the things where the connection is, but when you say Robin Hood, people automatically think of Nottingham, don't
Yes,
they?
they do.
It was marketing to get people from Nottingham to come to Doncaster rather than go to East Midlands.
Well,
I
of
believe.
course, a late colleague of mine who I used to work with at Radio Hallam would have then immediately jumped up and shouted at you. Well, in fact, actually, Robin of Locksley was from Sheffield.
And
there is actually documentation to that effect.
Well, the forest covered miles, didn't it?
Well, it did.
Sherwood Forest was huge.
There you go. So,
and we've also got places where they say Little John did the fighting, all of that. The naming was the naming at that time. More importantly, let's have an open airport that's actually gaining year on year with numbers and growth.
That's the thing.
That's what we want. That's what we want. 100%.
Brilliant stuff. Listen, that's about it. Roz, thank you very much for joining us. Hopefully we'd like to get you back on when we get closer to a big opening date. Would you like to come back, please?
I would love to come back. And do you know what? I wished it was last year, never mind in the future. But let's get everything done. Let's get it open. And let's deliver for the people with the People's Airport.
Brilliant. From myself, Bruce Edwards, and
Matt Chadwick, thanks ever so much. Thanks for joining us, Roz. That's been brilliant.
And I'm delighted to join it. And again, a big thank you. And a big thank you also to actually putting this out.
Yeah, Doncaster Radio, they've helped us out.
That's right.
Yeah, use the studio and whatever, we share it all over, don't we?
Well, we're all Doncaster here, aren't we?
We are Doncaster. I'm a stick of rock through and through.
That's it. Thank you very much. See you, everybody.
All the best now. Thank you.